Enemy taking C. We lost C.
Hello YouTube, this is World of Warcraft Pro, and today I'm going to tell you why the AK12 is not an unusable weapon, despite what I may have previously stated in other videos, because although it is not competitive at all at close range, anything short of medium to long range, it is usable. And, you know, part of the reason why I thought it was kind of atrocious or unusable or just really an abomination of an assault rifle, and that was just because I was using it wrong. I mean, I tried to play too aggressively with it, and this gun is honestly more of a camper's gun. It rewards conservative gameplay. And as you can see right here, I'm using the suppressor and the foregrip. Now, I wouldn't really recommend the foregrip on this gun, but as I have nothing else worthwhile of using, as I don't have extended mags or anything like that, I am using the foregrip. But there are better attachments in the foregrip for this gun, so yeah, if you don't like that guns that have a lot of recoil, I mean this is a gun for you. But the problem I had with it before was the low damage, and the 33 to 24 damage I still think is really low, given that other guns are laser beams like the bow. The bow is higher damage, and it is a laser beam. 2, just like this gun, well, pre-patch it was. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why the bow got nerfed, because it just stood out so much more than guns like the AK. And that's why you don't see a ton of people using it, because you know it is underpowered in some aspects. But there is a variant of this gun, the AK12, the RIP. I almost called it the Ripper, like from Ghost. Yeah, so it's the RIP variant. Now that variant is really good because it adds 1 damage, and all you need is 1 more damage to make this gun a 3 to 4 hit kill rather than a 4 to 5 hit kill, and that's much more favorable. You can actually compete with other guns with damage like that, and yeah, just overall makes a better gun. And also it adds like 2 accuracy, so not only is it more powerful, but it's more accurate, so your time to kill should increase dramatically. And the only cost you really get is 8 rounds in the magazine, which isn't that bad. It can be remedied with extended mags. You get 33 rounds instead of the 22, but even at 22, it's still not that bad. You just reload a little bit more, and the reloads aren't even that painful. So, yeah, so the only other things you really lose is, I think it's either handling or mobility, and you'll lose one of them. And neither of them are really neither of them are really that important, so I mean, yeah, it's just a really good variant overall. So I kind of overlooked this gun. I mean, this gun is sort of underrated. I mean, it can be a good gun. It just needs to be used properly at long ranges. So that's where the AK12 excels the best. I mean, so the map Riot's a good example for using this gun. A good example of how this gun can work, because you know, yeah, see, this guy just takes me out there. KF5. That gun's sort of overpowered. I mean, the extra damage, it's just stupid. I don't think game developers, especially in Call of Duty, should make guns that are just have all these quirky elements to them. I think they should just be standard, like how they were in like Black Ops. Like how this gun did this amount of damage per shot. The rate of fire didn't really change. Nothing really changed. Like, it was just straightforward. It wasn't all this BS. But okay, anyway, let's get back to the AK12, because the AK12, I mean, there are some redeeming aspects. So you just saw right there, yeah, it's good at taking out people at long range. I mean, the low recoil really helps a lot. I mean, some other guns like the HPR, I mean, the HPR is just more powerful even at that range, but obviously there's the HPR I have at secondary. I don't really use it though, because I tried out the AK12 again, and yeah, it's actually, it fills some roles, and those are the long range to medium roles, and for doing that, it does its job well. However, you know, I do feel that the variant is that if you do get that RAP variant, definitely hold on to it. There really isn't any downsides. If you the magazine size, I mean, sure, that is a downside, but if you think about it, like, how important is magazine size for a gun that you're not even supposed to be rushing around like really try hard, like, I mean, it's not that important. You can go without 8 rounds, and you can go without like 1 handling and 1 building, and I mean, the gun will perform much better. And yeah, I wish I had that variant, but unfortunately I don't have it yet. And you have to wait to get it in the supply drop. And guys, elite stuff is rare, but if you're gonna, all my elite stuff or for other guns that I don't really use.
Enemy taking B.
I haven't got the AK12. I haven't got an AK12 elite gun yet. But because there is another AK12 that increases damage, and that's called the AK12 bleeder. Now the bleeder, it increases damage by I think like 1 or 2, and then it decreases fire rate by 2 or something.
We lost C.
And the problem with that, I mean, it increases damage basically just so it makes a 3 to 4 hit kill.
Securing Bravo.
But here's the problem: the rate of fire is also a factor in time to kill. And now, while I would argue that the bleeder is better off than the regular AK in terms of stopping power, in terms of time to kill, it's more or less the same. So if you happen to get it, I mean, you could try it out if you want, but I would not regard it as the best gun in the game. So the AK12, I mean, there's a lot of other variants, but I haven't really found them to be any good. I mean, when you're looking, what you're looking for in a variant is you want to look for things like damage, because damage is probably one of the most powerful and most beneficial aspects of variants. And if something reduces damage, you probably shouldn't use it all, because reduced damage is just stupid.
We've taken control.
So I never used variants that have that. And then
Enemy UAV above.
let's see what else.
Enemy care package incoming.
Yeah, so you just gotta
Securing
really just know what you're doing with when you're doing with variants.
B secure.
By the way, guys, I think I figured out a way how to get more elite stuff from your supply drops, because as you know, elite stuff are usually the most desirable of weapon variants, and they're very rare. And you don't get very much of them, and the ones you do get aren't usually aren't the type you want. Like I want the AK12 variant, but I got the SAC-3, one of the elite guns from that, and I got the Bulldog before, and all this other stuff that I didn't really want because I don't use those guns. But how you get more elite supply drops?
Bravo.
Now I believe
Enemy has Bravo.
that what you do is if you're at a higher level, like for example, if the closer you are to level 50,
Support requested.
the more elite supply drops you'll get, because it just seems like you get better stuff over time as you're higher rank. And if you're like level 1 or level 5 or something, you're gonna get mostly enlisted stuff, and maybe even like clothing all the time. And let's be honest, guys, that's not very fun, getting clothing all the time. So yeah, if you save them all until later, that'll probably increase your chances of getting elite stuff. And now, to increase your chance of getting a certain gun, like if you want a certain model of elite, like I believe you have to use that supply drops earned with. Let's say if I want to get an AK12 variant, if I use the AK12 and unlock a supply drop with the AK12, I think that betters your chances of getting an AK12 variant. Now I could be absolutely wrong, but it seems to make sense. And without like other credible information on the internet, like I can't really just make a decision like whether that is the case. Like I don't really know, but it makes sense.
Securing B.
Well, at least it seems to make sense. So I mean, the AK12 overall, I would say it's a good gun, I guess, but I still think it's underpowered, at least at close range. I mean, what they should do is they should buff the damage, but in turn from that, they should take away a little bit of accuracy. And I think that would make it a much more competitive gun overall, because you know, things like accuracy can be fixed. If you have a gun that's really inaccurate, you can put a foregrip on it. But things like damage can't be fixed.
Losing C.
Like, you know, and things like rate of fire can't be fixed anymore. Like in older CODs, if you had a gun with bad damage, you put on stopping power. If you had a gun with bad rate of fire, you can put on double tap. That's how it works, but not in this game. And guys, as you'll see, I do take a few deaths, and that's because I try to use the AK12 at close range, and the AK12 is not designed to be used at close range, unfortunately. I mean, it's just not. If you try to use it at close range, you can get annihilated. So don't even bother doing that. I mean, I think I get killed a few times here because the hip fire on this gun is bad, just because of how low the damage is, and the rate of fire is nothing special too. So, alright, so I'm at 30 plus unstoppable here. Now, the smart thing to do would have been just to camp up here. But, you know, I wanted to try to get that DNA bomb. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to go get that DNA bomb or something. So I ran down there like an idiot, and I got killed. So over here, I'm just kind of checking to see if anyone's over here. And then I'm like, nope, that line of sight is too long. I might get sniped or something. And I think I try to go down here. Here's the thing, I didn't see that guy on the right there. You see that guy? Oh, he took me out with an 8-bar, and you know what? That gun is a lot better at close range. Now the rate of fire is a little bit slower, but the first 3 rounds fire faster and it has a higher damage. So 9 times out of 10, if you have an HBR on the guy you're facing as an AK, you're gonna win the gunfight. So as you see, I just saw there, I lost the gunfight because I played too aggressively, and I was like, okay, at this point, I'm not on a streak anymore, so I don't really care about my KD as much. But I definitely would not recommend doing what I'm doing. I mean, look, you see, I just get owned by the, well, I almost get owned by that guy, and then I get owned by his teammate. It doesn't function well up close. So what I'm trying to say is, if you use this gun right, if you sit in corners or sit on rooftops with long lines of sight, you can do really well. So if you're on a map like Riot with such conditions as I've stated before, then definitely give it a try, because it can definitely work for you. But if you're on a map like, I don't know, Terrace or something with really tight corners, an SMG or another assault rifle might do better. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the commentary, and don't forget to like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. This has been World of War, and see you guys later.